Hi guys, in this lesson we'll be looking at Can't Stop by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It sounds like this. Right guys, hello and welcome. My name's Thomas, and in this Can't Stop guitar lesson we'll be looking at all the guitar parts to the song. That's the verse, chorus, bridge and the solo, and kind of looking at a way that he's constructed the song, what scales he's used, the key and all that good stuff. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please click the link below to take you to our website where you'll see tabs and write-ups for this and all the other videos we've done so far, as well as hundreds of hours of free material for you to learn. Okay, now, so we are in the key of E minor, and we're really not straying too far away from 4 chords, really. That's all we're using. John Frusciante's a really amazing guitar player, but he's always been very simple, which is kind of what makes him so amazing, is that he sounds so good without doing anything crazy. So the very first thing we hear is the intro, which is and all that is the 5th fret of the A string going to the 7th, and just you can listen to the song and get that rhythm. That's the only time that part comes in, so that's nice and simple. It just gives a build up into the song. Now the main riff is the verse riff, and it sounds like this. Now it's a bit of a tricky riff because of the big gaps and the string skipping that has to go on. So the very first thing is 7th fret of the A string, and then to the 7th of the G, to the 9th of the G, and those are the 2 constant notes, and then the A string note's going to move. So, and you can hear it's 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So slowly, and then 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the bass notes are going to move and the are going to stay. So the first bass note is at E, the note E, that's on the 7th fret of the A string. Then that note moves to the 5th fret of the A string, which is a D, but the other notes stay the same. This is where the stretch comes in. I'm using my 3rd and my 4th for that notes on the G string, but it's not very easy. It takes a bit of stretching your hand out and getting used to it. You could try and change the position of that D note if you're struggling with that stretch to the E string, which would be the 10th fret. That's up to you. And then all you do is move that same exact rhythm and pattern to where the bass note is D, and you play the exact same order of notes the exact amount of times, and then you just keep moving it around. So the next note after the D is a B, which is 7th fret of the E string. And this is where it gets a little bit more tricky now, because you're skipping 2 strings, skipping from the low E all the way to the G. So after the B is C, which is the 8th fret of the E string. So it goes 7th fret of E string, or 7th fret of A string, 7th fret of A, or I'm catching myself out, 7th fret of A string to the 5th fret, and then 7th fret of the E string to the 8th fret. And you just got to move around and find that fingering that works for you. You can look at my fingering and try to copy it, but if it's a bit of a stretch, try and move that D and put it to your pinky to help out a little bit. It's not a complicated riff, but it's physically a little bit tricky on the guitar. Really cool riff though. So that makes up all the verse. So what you want to do is just go around that slowly. About there. So we'll play it even slower than that and see if you can play along, okay? Here we go. Now I actually made a little bit of a mistake when I was speaking to you earlier about the number of times. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 again. So so 1, and then the high notes, and then 3, then the high notes, and then 3 again, and then you change. Okay? So moving on then is the chorus, and really this is just bar chords, nice and simple. Oh, I should say actually, on the last time of the verse, so the very last iteration of that riff, before the verse comes in, over the C note, so instead of the 8th fret of the E string, you do this. So that's an E minor chord over a C bass note, which essentially gives you a C major 7 chord. But to play that, and so you go like this. This is the last time. So it's tricky getting from that. So that's 7th fret of the E string, 8th fret of the B, and 9th fret of the G, all those together, and then it's just E, B, G, E, B, G. Nice and simple like that. And then we go into the verse. So the chords here are simple and repeating. They're just G major, D major, B minor, and C major 7. So we're just doing those in simple bar chords. So the G major was the first one. That's just an E-shape bar chord. So we're taking our E major in an open shape, moving that to the 3rd fret, putting a bar on it, and then we've got G major. So moving to a D now, so it's a half bar, 2 beats of G, then off to the D major. So the D is going to be an A major bar shape. So that you take an A major open chord, move it up to where your bar is on the 5th fret, and then you place the chord above your bar. Play the chord, okay? And that's the rhythm. So see if you can get that rhythm again. We'll play it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving to a B minor. So that is 7th fret, E minor bar chord shape. So bar on the 7th, and then you've got the 9th of the D and the A string. And the same rhythm. Down, up, chop to a C major 7. So the way I'm doing this is that E minor chord from before, plus my pinky on the 10th fret of the D string. And if you can manage it, a thumb over the top to this 8th fret of the E string. If you can manage it. If you can't, it's no worries. Just don't play those lower strings. And what you do is you get your thumb to mute the A string, so you don't have to worry. You can just smack all the strings. So a little bit of a change. That tricky change. That will take a bit of time for anyone who's not seen that chord shape, practice that before. That is tricky because it's 4, 5 if you count the thumb, individual placements. So let's try that again. So that little it's generally that rhythm. Down, down, up, chop. Okay, so I'll go slower, see if you can join in. And the last time you can hear the rhythm's different on that B minor to the C major. It's just 1, or sorry, 3, 4, and then you hold it. So nice simple chorus, just strumming bar chords really, getting that big fat sound by using all 6 strings when you can. And it's really just about being able to move between those chords fluidly, nice and smoothly with the rhythm, and getting that nice chop. And that major 7 in there as well. So that's most of the song. Still 2 parts left. The bridge, which is the same harmony as the verse, just played in a different way. So let's go to that. That is what I'm calling the bridge, comes after the second chorus, and it sounds like this. So we're just doing offbeat chords. So if our drums go in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're just going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Nice and simple, and we're just taking the more bar chords and moving them around. So it's E minor this time, D major, B minor, C major. So same chords pretty much as the chorus, but just swapping the G major out for an E minor. So once you get that, it's going to be in an A-shaped bar chord, kind of, just without the bar, really. It depends how big you want it to sound. If you want a bit more space in the sound, then don't play a bar chord, because that sounds very chunky. Those extra notes that you can hear sounds a lot bigger than. It's up to you, really. If you don't want the bar chord, then just take the notes on the A and the D string out and play the same. So I'll talk to you about the bar chords really. So A minor bar chord shape up on the 7th fret. So that is 7 on the A and then 9, 9, 8, 7. So that's just 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and move into a D major. It's the same shape as before in the chorus. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and move into a B minor. Now this will be same shape as chorus. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and move into a C major. Now this one is actually not a major 7 as before. This is the same shape you used in the G major, so that E major bar shape. Now up on the 8th fret, so bar in the 8th of the E, and then from the A string it's 5, 5, 9, 8, 8. Okay? Okay, so it's nice and simple. Now you can hear that as you go along. The reason I don't think he plays bar chords is because he does little bits in between or with the chords, which he would need spare fingers for. But with the bar chord, he's using all his fingers. So. Things like that. So on the E minor, if we talk about taking the bar chord away from it, so we're just left with the 9th, 8th and 7th on the G, B and E string, that would be, and then one of the little embellishments he does is moving his first finger up to the 8th fret, so, and then back, then to the D major. So again, bar chord, taking out the A and the D strings. Moving up to, with the pinky on the 7th fret, and then off. So from the E minor. The D minor, the B minor. This time, same notes that are in the shape, but just D, G, and B string, then up to the high E string. So that was pinky on the 10 of the B, then up to the 7 of the high E string. It's just little embellishments he's doing. Then after that, C major. So that's what's happening in the rhythm part for the guitar. In the second half of that bridge, it gets a little bit complicated. He's got a guitar sound with delay on it, quite heavy delay. So I thought initially it was like a pad sound or some synth, but actually it's just guitar with loads of delay, and he's just arpeggiating these chords. So that's just E minor, so 12th fret of the E, B, and G string, and it's the same pattern as before, so just E, B, G, E, B, G. Then it's quite interesting this, he does little changes, so E minor and then to a C, so now 13 of the B, 12 of the G, and 14 of the D string. Nice change that. Then do a D minor, so that is 10 on the E and the B and 11 on the G. Before going to a B minor, which is 12 on the B, 11 on the G, 12 on the D. Okay, so sounds like this. It's really nice. And then the B minor, which is just the same shape as before, 7 on the B and the G and 9 on the D string. Then to a C major, which is 8 on the B, 9 on the G, and 10 on the D. It took me a little second to work that out. So all of that, that's a little bit complicated. So C or E minor going to a C major, D major going to a B minor, and then B minor and C. Interesting that. The D minor. Always going from the highest string to the lowest in the shape. So that's what happens in that when you hear that part come in halfway through that bridge. And then all that's left is the solo, which is really nice, really cool, very simple. So that is like this. Really cool, really melodic, and it's actually just the same as the backing vocals have been doing, just with loads of drive, loads of gain. It sounds massive. So what's happening there is the first note is the 15th of the B string bent up to the 17th. So you bend that up and hold it, then bend it again, then come down to the 15th, then 15 to the 12, and then 12 to 12 in G. Lots of vibrato as well. So again, bend 15 to 17, do it again, off to 15, 15 to 12, 12 to 12 in the G. And then same place again, bend 15 of the B up. This time, moving to the 17, bending that up, then bending it down to the 15th. So 15 bend up, 17 bend, down, 15, 15 bent up, down and off to the 12, then 15, now to 12 on the G string, hammer on to 14, pull off to 12, down to 11, and then to 14 on the D string. So that second time round, 15 bent to 17, 17 up to 19, down to 15, 15 up to 17, down and off to 12, 15, 12 on the G string, hammer on 14, pull off, 11, there's a lot of numbers there. I'm surprised I got through that. If you can follow that, that's great. If not, go back, listen to it, and try and work it out. So it's a very simple solo, but you've really got to put your heart into that one. And the key to this, and the key to all guitar playing, is being able to express yourself properly. So it's not like wimpy, you know, it's not like a little tickle. It's whack, up, get some vibrato. He's really giving that the beans. You got to do that as well if you want to really get the full range of expression and dynamics from this instrument. You've got to be able to whack the thing, make it roar, or tickle it real quietly, or that's the big difference. Okay guys, I hope that's been useful. Some really interesting playing in there. It's really just come from standard E minor shapes, our standard bar chords, and there's nothing outside of an E minor scale. And this, the solo, exists pretty much just within our good old shape 1 of the pentatonic in E minor, so up in the 12th fret. Really simple, and John Frusciante's known for that. Simple playing, just with cool ideas, great tone, great feel. So hopefully that's been useful for you. Hopefully you've been able to glean through and get the song, and can get the parts going to practice against the song and pick up some interesting ideas, or try to write riffs in his style, because it's quite unique. It's really great to hear this kind of type of creativity on the guitar as well. That's been it from me, guys. Good luck with the practice. I'll catch you next time.